Mr. Speaker, would you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, can I get a roll call, please? Oh, God dang it. Okay, this is interesting. There we go. Okay,
Berkowitz,
Here.
Butler, Ortiz, Axley,
Yes.
Trainier,
Present.
Winfrey,
Here.
Newquist.
here.
We have a quorum.
Okay, thank you. Approval of minutes. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes of the special meeting on October 21st? Move Winfrey. Can I get a second Trainier roll call, please?
Berkowitz,
Yes.
Axley,
Yes.
Trainier,
Yes.
Winfrey,
Yes.
Newquist.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Okay, public comment. Is there anyone here with public comment? One more time, public comment? If you could hit your mic, please. So I can turn, thank you, one moment. Hold on one sec. That is, okay, there
Red
we
means
go.
go. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Good morning. I'm Dr. Gary Lipinski. I'm the medical director for the free clinic. We're going to be free clinic. I'm also on the Board of Health as well. And one more time, I just wanted to reinforce the importance of programs that the Board of Health has and are in danger of losing. In particular, there's two in particular, which really I think is concerning. One has to do with the cut to women's maternal services. We have made a lot of progress in Will County with our partnerships on maternal health. There's one group that we're really still trying to reach out to, and if this funding is cut, it's going to affect that, and that is our African American Black women. Their mortality rate, their maternal mortality rate is higher than anyone else. It's still up there. If we cut funding on this, that's going to get even worse. The other thing is the communicable diseases. That is the vanguard looking out for infections in our community. And again, we saw with the pandemic what that can do. And so I would urge you to consider that as well. So
Okay,
thank you.
thank you very much for coming today. Any other public comment? Okay, seeing none. Old business, we have none. New business, we'll move on to the discussion of the levy and the budget. And I would like to yield the floor to Speaker Van Dyne. He has a few words to say. Oh, I gotta turn his mic on. I guess I don't really have to let him speak, but no. Okay, why is this not? There we go. Thank
All right.
you.
Thank you, Chair Newquist. So this is one of multiple meetings that we've had. We do understand that approximately half of this board had initially set the levy at 0%. Other half of the board has set the levy or would like to see the levy at 2%. There has been comments from the board members I spoke to individually, and a lot of them were interested in the word compromise. So I think in order to compromise and to make an effort to lower the levy and the budget, I first want to say that I'm going to do my part, and I plan on slashing the county board budget by $50,000. With that being said, with new construction, the new numbers had come in as of Friday. We were at $1.8 million in revenue. That number has now changed to approximately $2.2 million, which gives us a surplus of $400,000 projected. So I would definitely like to ask this committee to pass the new construction. And in the spirit of compromise, I'm willing to ask the chair of this committee to ask for a motion to provide numbers to the budget that would reflect a 1.75% levy. I think that's a very fair compromise. I don't think zero is even possible. 89% of our budget is basically untouchable with our tort immunity and IMRF and also salaries that we've already committed to pay contractually. So, Chair, if you would please ask for a motion, my request would to ask for a motion from someone for this board to accept a 1.75% levy. Thank you
Okay.
so much.
Thank you. Before we move on to the actual levy, do we have any other discussion or comments?
Yes,
David?
last meeting, we talked about the real estate tax levy. So yes, the levy went down, but everybody's assessed valuation went up. So I have an example here. The taxes increase on my property in Lockport went up $56. So there was an increase. And actually, it's about 7.15% increase for real estate taxes. So if every property in the county went up 7% or 6%, where's that show? Just because we lower a levy doesn't mean the cost went down in this situation.
Just a point of clarification, are you talking about the county taxes or overall
tax-
taxes?
I have a copy
wasn't
of it for
sure.
you if you'd like to see it.
No, but I wasn't sure. Did you mean the line item for the
The line
county?
item for Will County tax.
That's what I wanted
Right
to know.
here. I
Thank
have
you.
last year's and this year's there. So every property in Will County went up. Mine went up 7.15%. You could take an average of 6 or 5 because of values of property, but that's one item. The new construction, Joe is correct, is went up to 2.2 million. Is looking at the speaker, he came up with a $50,000 cut. What are the department heads came up with? Have the department heads came up with any cuts at all? Have they been asked to cut their budget? Because I think if you want us to cut their budget, I think it'd be a disaster for them. Because we'd go crazy. But I'm suggesting, Joe's going with, he cut 50,000 out of the county board budget. So we showed in good faith, if we do this, 22 people showed we've done ours. So each department should come back to us within a week or two, set a timeline to show us where they can cut. There's a lot of places we can cut. One thing comes to mind, the sheriff's department was before us, I'll just say July, not knowing the exact date. They had 44 openings they hadn't filled. Why haven't they filled them? We're paying overtime instead of full-time employees. Our overtime budget is out of whack. Why can't we do something there? Why can't we make them hire people? They haven't done anything. There's places we can cut this budget. And I understand, what Joe's saying and everybody's saying about, and quite honestly, from 0 to 2%, a quarter of a point isn't much. And then secondly, Joe and I talked about this. Him as the speaker, the leader, he said the last meeting, at the end of the meeting, that he has several ideas where he thinks we can cut the budget. As the leader, he should bring them forward to us. That's it.
Thank you for your comments. Julie?
I just am wondering, heard nothing about this compromise. Had no input in it, no conversation with anyone outside of the county board offices. So I'm just wondering, like, you mentioned that there are people that support this. Who is this part of the Republican caucus?
Do you want to respond to that? Okay, bear with me. This is not cooperating with me today. I'm sorry. What the? I'm doing next. There we go. Thank you.
Thank you. To be frankly honest, I've said this before and I'll say it again, for the last few months, there's always been an open door policy to call me, call the executive. There's been multiple invites for people to come up and offer certain cuts. I did make a phone call. I have not heard from anybody, but I did talk to one or two individuals from the Republican Party. I'm not here to mention any names, but those individuals said that they would be willing to consider a 1.75% levy. Other than, other than speaking directly to the Republican leader, I have no idea where the party is at. Being a Democrat, I have had many conversations with our leader and also the chair of the Finance Committee. And that seems to be the overall consensus is, you know what, let's do a compromise. Instead of 2%, I think 1.75, it ain't much, but we got to understand that is about going over these books. That is about the lowest that we possibly can go
So. can
and
I
still
continue?
save taxpayer dollars.
Can I continue with my time then? I asked you a question. And
It's absolutely up to the chair.
Thank you,
Okay.
thank you. Okay, so, just wanted to find out if anyone from the Republican caucus had said, yes, I'm on board, and I'm not hearing that there was. I'm curious about this $50,000 cut in the county board. You specifically mentioned one cut, $50,000 county board, and I'm just curious about that.
Absolutely. I'm glad you
What's,
asked.
Because I do know we, as county board members, I don't know that we have open conversations on salaries in the county board department. And I do believe that many, many years ago, under different leadership, there was input. The board members were asked to submit evaluations for staff, and that sort of fell off the wayside. So I think we need to bring back some of these policies here. County board members have very little. We don't even have a desk anymore in the county board room. We're not allowed to even keep our name on a desk in that room anymore. We were all instructed to clear the desk of anything that had anything to do with our identity.
We need to keep
No,
this
okay,
limited
Paul's
to
in
the
order.
budget and the
So-
levy.
You know, as far as what we have, very, very slim, very trim. But I think what we let's go back to how we got to where we are today. We set a levy and we have instructed the department heads to find the cut. Man their own budget. It's their budget. We've indicated it's not our job to dictate where they cut or where they trim their budget. It's their job,
Julie,
not
some
ours.
members have asked for that. As the chair, I have not asked for that. And as we established at the last finance meeting, per the state's attorney's office, that we are the ones who should be modifying the budget if we don't like the budget as presented.
Can I
So,
finish?
but I was also going to ask if you
I
wanted
was
Joe
not
to
finished.
respond to. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So again, and we have been told that it's not our job to find these cuts. It's not our job. So you've heard one thing, I've heard another, and we could go through and pick things, but if we go and we remove something from the budget, Jennifer has the ability to do what she wants. It's her department. So, and let me finish up. We passed a levy. We're here because the levy has already been passed.
No, it has not. We
The
passed an
committee- In
estimated.
committee,
we-
okay,
we
an
passed
estimated
An
levy.
estimated levy for publication. We have
And
not
Again,
passed any actual levies.
and again, what I'm going to recommend is that we all take the recommendation and the instruction from our governor to cut 4% from our budget. He gave us that challenge. And we have a challenge to move forward on. So I thought that it was an enlightening way to approach the financial issues we have in this county. The last couple days, I've spent a lot of time honoring and recognizing Veterans Day and those who have served our country. And literally, everywhere I went, everybody was talking about the hardship they're having in their property taxes. I had a countless numbers of people who knew me, people who didn't know me. Everybody is tapped out. So that's the message I got from more people than I can even count over the last couple of days. And I think we've got a challenge, and, you know, our employer is the taxpayer, and we need to listen to what they're telling us and what's going on out in their homes. So it's something that we're not entitled to this money. We're not entitled to be able to raise taxes. We have to listen to what people are struggling with in their homes and in their families and in their businesses. And if you go out and people are welcome to come and walk my district with me, happy to take you around to my precincts. I apologize for that. I usually put it on airplane mode. But again, the message I have had the last 2 days is it's consistent and it's clear. We can't bear any more. And people can smile and chuckle, but it's reality out there. Thank you.
Thank you, Julie. I would like to respectfully point out that at our last meeting, I asked for suggestions, proposals, et cetera, from the people that wanted to make cuts, and I have not received anything. And I did reach out to the Republican leader and have not gotten a response back. So I know I've got Jackie and Joe. Joe, did you want to respond to the cuts? And then Jackie, and then David, you wanted to, oh, and Denise, I'm sorry, and Steve. Okay, let's do this. Let's let Joe respond, then we'll go around the corner. We'll do Jackie, and then Denise, and then David, and then you, Steve. Okay, thank you. Go ahead.
Thank you, Chair. The only response that I think I can remember is to respond to the budget cuts from the county
Yes.
board. 2025 budget for training and seminars was set at $20,000. I'm going to reduce that to $2,000. Air travel was budgeted for $10,000. Going to reduce that down to $2,000. Ground travel for county board members, $5,000 was budgeted from 2025 down to $1,000. Lodging, 2025 budget was budgeted for $25,000. Revision is down to $5,000. And if I could reduce the travel from to and from work to every board meeting, I would eliminate that to zero if I could. But I don't believe the statute will allow me to do that. So I am not discouraging anyone from going to any training, any seminars, any air travel or ground travel or lodging to any of these events. But there's only $10,000 to cover that for all 22 members. And if I feel that if you want to go, then it should be on your dime. People wanted to make cuts, and I think the best idea was to start with ourselves. There's no reason why we should receive these benefits if no one else can. So there's the $50,000. And one thing I failed to mention, that if this budget, these numbers do pass at 1.75, I will be sitting down with Marcy and the county executive and her finance team and coming up with the actual cuts that make sense. I have not been prepared to bring any today. I was hoping that the folks that were interested in the 0% would bring some ideas, and I don't anticipate any of those being brought forward. So I will be the one to sit down and make the cuts with the county executive.
All right, thank you. Excuse me, Jackie's next.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'll just reiterate what I've said before. The history of levy and budget cuts. Always when a cut was proposed from the county executive's presentation, and that was her job or his job, depending on the year, to present the levy and budget, always, any cuts were always brought forward by a board member. I heard it said that the governor gave us the challenge. The governor gave his own State Department a challenge. He knows nothing about the budget and the levy and the needs of the residents and the departments of Will County. And if he did, he would have said, go for your 2.5. In fact, if you want 2.9, because that's what the law allows, go for your 2.9. He understands that we are far closer to the people and that we don't have, somebody else that we can call on to do our work. He's not going to try to micromanage every county in Illinois. It's 102 of them. There's just no possible way. I can go with the 1.75 with the new construction, assuming that the speaker is confident that we can fill those holes for the two items that were shorted. And I really want to take that extra 2 million out of the IMRF. I don't like those numbers as they stand. There's no need to put $2 million in the IMRF levy that is not required. I'd rather fund this tort immunity and the workers' comp. To me, those are far more of a priority. So, and yeah, this was just a publishing of a proposed levy. So we certainly have the opportunity to change it. I know I made some suggestions at the last meeting, but I've not been contacted by the maker of the zero motion or anybody from the opposite side of the aisle about suggestions for cuts. I'm like you, I'm in the dark. This is our job, and the people who made the proposal to 0% should be bringing forward the proposed cuts. Thank you.
Thank you. Denise?
Thank you. Well, I've said before, I'm in favor of the 2%, but I understand the need to try and get to some kind of compromise so that we can move forward on this because we're coming up to the end of our fiscal year. I understand the governor's request for 4% from his people. Our budget already is below that. We were at 2%. He asked for 4%. We were already beyond that. For the 175 for the finance people, does this still allow us to meet our obligation in terms of increased insurance costs? Because I know that they went up quite a bit this year. Meet our obligation in terms of office supplies, maintenance supplies, transportation supplies, to negotiate in good faith with the 13 or 14 contracts we have out this year and still continue to operate. Is that true?
Does Marcy or Rashawn want to answer that question? Hold on one sec. Thank you.
Rashawn had to leave. Yes, we'd be fine.
Would still
Denise.
be safe.
Yes.
Okay, then I would move that we accept the 1.75 with the 2.2 due construction.
Okay, thank you. We've got a few more
That's a motion.
comments. Pardon?
Made a
Yeah,
motion.
what we'll do is we'll finish up the comments and then we'll
Here.
vote levy by
Excuse me, there's a
levy.
motion, so there should be a second, and then we should continue the discussion.
Hold on one sec. I gotta find out what the. That's what, so what happens is we have to do this by a dollar amount. So if you don't mind, let's finish up the comments and then we'll start each, going each fund. And
Right.
I'll ask you to make the motion
Certainly.
that corresponds to the 1.75%. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Dave and then Steve, since Dave's on the committee, and then Julie.
Thank you. One thing, what's the best way to get to yes here? Let's get something done. Quit babbling. Let's get it done. There's obviously a compromise here that we can make. Let's get it done. We're talking. We've had 5-6 hours of meetings, numerous phone conversations. There's got to be something we can do to get this done and move forward. And Joe, did you say that you were going to sit down with staff after the vote and see where they could cut?
Yeah, if I may, Chair, my intentions is, I wanted to see where this meeting ended up. I do know that we were at 0 and 2%, so I thought, meeting with the masterminds and the finance departments, that 1.75 is extremely slim, and it will still barely cover the essential needs for the county. I was waiting for this to come out of committee for a recommendation to go to full board. And then the budget will be reflected on the numbers that are voted on today. So I will be bringing back, I will be sitting down with them and coming up with the best idea to bring the cuts.
How about we do that before we vote on it and see where it falls? If you're going to sit with staff and find out where they can cut, if they can cut, how about you get that done, take a vote and see where we're at? I mean, we got to get this done.
If I can interject, we need to vote to bring this before the full board. So I would like something to come out of this
I'm not going to vote
meeting
on
today.
something I don't know about.
I'll make a motion for a 1.7.
Oh, hold on, guys. Let's finish up the discussion and then we'll go through the levies
Well,
because
What I'm saying is, that way, everybody can vote on what we know we're voting. I mean, the 1.75, it'll never go back if we vote on it and take it for a recommendation. If Joe talks to staff members and says, I can cut this much, I can cut this much, brings back the actual number we're gonna vote on, then we'll know.
then we'll need another special meeting and I don't want to do that. I
Well,
want us
if
to
you don't
vote
want to meet
today.
to discuss it and get it done, why meet?
Let's
Why
vote on,
today?
let's vote on the levies today and we'll
You want
go
to vote
from
on
there.
something that'll never change.
You'll have that opportunity at the full board to make
But you
that
gotta do
change.
I'm here to try to make a compromise, get things done. I think that's fair. If you're gonna talk to the
Exactly.
people, Joe,
Put,
talk to them, bring it forward, let's go. But if we're gonna vote on something and then there's no reason other than hoping it will pass at the county board for you to talk to anybody. So why are we bothering? You're wasting our time, Madam Chairman.
all right, well, thank you for your comments. I appreciate it. Steve, go ahead.
Yeah, I just
then
want
Joe.
to point a few things out. Number one, every year that we have a budget and a levy, we make a deal or whatever it's going to be, a compromise, blah, 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 it don't matter. We end up changing everything on the floor of the county board at the meeting every year. And then the staff has to find where to cut the money every year. It's always like that. And so to say that the county board has to come up with where we're going to cut, I think that's ridiculous because when you get on the floor, I'm going to be asking for minus 10% again. And I really feel like we have a spending problem in Will County and it disturbs me. And I have no problem doing what Charlie Edelman did for a number of years. And he was a Democrat, by the way. And he cut 10% out of every line item. So if he can cut 10% out of every line item, the county still functioned. Why can't we do the same thing? Or now I'm willing to compromise to 0 like we voted for. I'm willing to vote for a 0. But if Charlie could have did 10% on every line item, why can't we do 1% on every line item or 4% or let's go with 5%? Why can't we cut out of every line item instead of saying we're going to cut from this person and that person? We could just say, but it's up to the staff. It ain't up to us. Because on the floor of the county board, when we have this meeting, I guarantee we're going to have an argument. And it's going to be settled on the floor of the county board with a vote. And now if the vote comes out to be all zeros, guess what? The staff will have to find the cuts. And then once they find the cuts, that's how it's been done every single time. It's not going to be the first time that this happened. I'm just anticipating we're going to have a fight on the floor because I know that I'm encouraging my group, although I'm not the leader anymore, but I'm sure they listen to me a little bit. And I'm going to encourage them to vote for no increase at all, like we already did. So, let's put it like this. No matter what happens here, when we get to the county board floor, you know what's going to happen. It's always happened. So when I say always, I've been on the board for almost 14 years,
Mhm.
and it's always been like that.
Okay, thank you.
So, and the staff always found they found a way to do it. And I'm just telling everybody, my personal opinion is to cut 10%, like Charlie Edelman did. But obviously, that ain't gonna fly even with my caucus. All right? So I'm willing to cut to 0. No CPI and no new construction. And I know the rest of the board probably upset about hearing that. But if we say we can't do it, we can't find the money, well, look at our spending habits. That's all I say. Just look at how we spend money. There's a lot of stuff that we shouldn't be spending on. And I can go, the biggest one comes to my mind is the Pace building from a couple years ago where we put $5 million to repair it and we didn't repair it. And then guess what happened? The money went into La La Land into our spending. So we do not spend appropriately. And the same thing with the reserve funds. They're for emergencies. They're not there because they don't want to come, the different departments don't want to come and ask the county board for money for something that they might say no to. So that's why the reserves are there and they're, that special reserve fund. So, and I don't want to continue on any more than that, but you know what? I'm encouraging my entire caucus to be a 0 and a 0. And I believe I'm going to have everybody on board from my caucus, even though I'm not the leader. You have to talk to Jim.
Mhm.
But I'm just telling you that right now. I'm encouraging everybody to be 0. So if you guys want to raise it, it'd be on you.
Thank you, Steve. But I do just want to point out, you guys, that we need to pass something out of this committee in order to be able to vote on this at the county board level. And that's hopefully what we're going to do today. Okay, Julie, Dave, and then Mike, are you looking to speak?
The La La Land.
Okay.
No La La Land.
All right, go ahead. I am really microphone challenged
Yeah,
today.
I apologize for taking up the committee's time, but I need to correct the record on Member Balich's two statements that I were able to capture. One, staff cannot cut the budget. It is the county board's job. There are numerous line items in the budget. The county board has to pick and choose. And obviously, you can't just say to staff, cut 10%, right? There are rules in place. You are the legislative body of the county. I just want to make that abundantly clear that staff cannot do any of this for you. And then the next thing, and we have talked about this numerous times in this committee, the Pace building, there was money allocated towards the Pace building, $4.5 million. The appetite of this board to eventually spend enough money to rehabilitate the Pace building was not there. We reallocated that money to the Copperfield building, which Member Balich was very excited about putting the VAC in that building. That money did not disappear. There are no dollars that have disappeared in the county. And so I want to be abundantly clear that those taxpayer dollars that were allocated to the Pace building instead ended up going to do the VAC build out at Copperfield, which is on time, on budget. Will be opening December, January. Some supply chain issues, but we're very close. But I just want to let everyone know who's listening, there is no money that disappeared. I can't reiterate this enough. I feel like I do this every 2 months with Member Balich's comments about the Pace building. And so I just want to clarify it once again. Thank you.
Thank you. Julie?
Thank you. So this discussion about the compromise, had no idea, didn't have any input in it. And I want to just, again, get back to who we are. We are the Will County Board. We were elected by our constituents. We have 2 caucuses. we have 11 county board members from the Democrat Party. We have 11 county board members from the Republican Party. I expect this board to go forward in a transparent manner. I would like to be assured that the Republican caucus would be represented at every conversation going forward. If you're sitting down with the county executive, Joe, I expect to have County Board Member Richmond available. I expect to have him participate in this because he can't communicate to me what he doesn't know. So again, we've got 2 caucuses on this county board. We also have the Finance Committee, and there were some communication issues on the Financial Committee as well, which we, hopefully that will improve, especially I think it will after we're over the budget. But going forward, I find it amazing to come to the meeting and be told this is the new plan, and there was a compromise. So again, there's a lot been said today, and I think we need to move forward and just get this meeting done.
What, can I call on Dave and then?
Sure.
Okay, oh, Dave, and then I'll do Joe.
Sherry-
Did you want to
Sherry
speak
first.
again, and then Sherry? Go
Thank
ahead,
you.
Dave.
Thank you. First and
Oh, and
foremost,
Mike, I'm sorry.
all of us in this room are elected by our constituents. I don't care if you're an R or a D, we need to quit that separation. I'm tired of it. I've said it at the county board member many times. We're here to represent our people. Doesn't matter who you vote for. I don't care. Secondly, Joe's idea with the new construction, that's 2.2 million. If we vote for this new construction, we're up 2.2 million. It doesn't cost our taxpayers anything. It costs the new construction people the money. And if we don't take it now, we don't get it. It's that simple. And we're here to, let's get this done. What's the easiest way to get to yes? I don't want to argue, and there should be no arguments. Just state your case and shut up. It's that simple. But, and as blunt as it is, that's life. That's the way I am. Sorry, but I'm not. But anyhow, Joe, I would ask you to go to the board, to the department chairs, see what they can cut, bring it back so we can get a fair evaluation of everything. Thank you.
All right, Micah, and then Sherry.
Thank you. I do serve as well on the Will County Health Board. And I know that they have asked for money. They asked for their levy to be raised. That didn't happen. They are experiencing shortfalls because of the federal cuts to maternal health and tracing. And I want to be sure that whatever we do, we are making sure that they are funded, because the services that they do provide, they're going to be very much needed in our community. That being said, I understand that it's maybe not the desire to come up with a new levy and move forward, but I'm not sure that when the 0% levy was passed, that there was any idea of how that was going to happen. I think it just kind of happened. So there were no numbers before us. And the 3 million-ish number that we originally went to, then it went up because of the IMRF, and it wasn't even a solid number. So I've heard several numbers since then. So we really aren't even sure, on that note. So I think it's important to come up with something so that our wonderful finance ladies can actually come back to us with something, to ask them to come up with everybody's different scenarios. There's, as has been stated, 22 of us.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be an impossible feat for them, I do feel. They have looked at the budget more times than all of us combined. And they have cut and cut and cut till they came up with the 2%. I'm okay with the 2%. But that's not where we're at today. We are at a place where we have to come up with a compromise. And Mr. Speaker, I appreciate him coming up with something, because it's the only something that I have heard sitting in these meetings. So if we can take that idea and move forward and come up with a compromise, I think that's where we're at. Thank you.
Thank you. Sherry?
Yeah, I'm a little bit confused because as Member Freeman said, at the meeting, the county executive presented the 2%, and then suddenly we get the 0% and nobody's giving any numbers or anything. So I've been at all of these finance meetings as well, and we're demanding the 1.75 numbers, what that means for the budget, and yet we have never received anything from the 0% numbers that we are asked to be voting on as well. So to me, I compromise, call it whatever you want. The fact of the matter is, in my opinion, this committee is the one that was supposed to come up with all of that stuff simply because this is the finance committee. So those people that wanted the 0%, if you don't like what anybody else is presenting, then where's your 0% numbers? I said this the last time. I have no idea what that 0% means. I don't even think that anybody even went to the agency heads and asked them to cut their budget. That's something that the finance committee could have, if you wanted them to do it. Did you contact them to do it? Nobody's done anything except we sit here and point fingers at each other, and yet nothing is getting done. To me, I'm like I said, I'm not on this committee, but I am the Democratic leader, and we can do better than this. We're just going back and forth. I didn't realize we were in bargaining, because that's what it seems like to me, negotiations. But when I negotiate, I actually do have numbers that I come up with. I put my proposal on the table. The other side looks at the proposal, either accepts it or doesn't accept it. We're just going back and forth, saying, well, we said 0%. Nobody knows what 0% means. The agency heads have not been contacted to even know that they're supposed to cut anything. The cuts, if we didn't like the county executive's budget, then it's on us to present a different scenario. We have not done that, except for Speaker Van Duyn is trying to come up with some type of compromise. As I said before, I was okay with the 2%. If we're not okay with the 2%, and if we're not okay with the 1.75, you're going to have to give me something more than 0, and you're going to have to tell me what that means. We need to decide what it is that we're trying to do here. Thank you.
Thank you. Jackie, and then Joe, you want to finish up? Let me turn your mic on, Jackie. Okay.
Okay, I'm going to try this again. I'm going to make a motion for the 1.75. And for the corporate fund, if I did my math right, that would mean our levy would be $105,090,192.
I have the numbers.
I'm
No,
glad you have the numbers.
I have the actual numbers at 1.75.
Okay.
So
I'm,
no, this is numbers that Marcy worked up so that we have.
Point of order.
hold on,
Make a
I have the
motion on
floor.
Before we can discuss it, we need a second.
We do not have a correct motion on the floor.
That's okay.
That is not the right form of the motion.
Okay, I'm going to,
You can't, no, David, we can't vote
I
on
can
that. We have to
finish it.
vote. We have to, point of order. I have the floor. You do not have the floor. So,
okay, I'm
Jackie,
going to go back
can
to
you
my
please?
1.75. And I'm
Yes.
not going to give a dollar amount if you don't think
we
that my
will-
number is correct. I suck at math.
we
I'll be
will,
the first to admit it.
Jackie, we'll do that.
Yes.
Just let Joe, are you done with your comments? I'm trying to get everybody's comments out here to let everybody have their say, and then we'll vote.
I want to move on.
Okay.
We got
but other
people making
want to
0% and not giving any numbers. Why can't we give a percentage and move on
Because
without
I'll
numbers?
explain in a minute.
Okay.
But if you could please, Joe, do you want to finish up and then we'll move on to voting?
Yeah.
Sorry, guys, I don't mean to make this confusing. It's just, it's not a proper motion. The motions have to be done in a certain way for this. So correct, Kevin? We need to make a dollar amount of the motion, not a percentage, which I have the numbers.
I have my light on.
We're done. After Joe
No,
speaks,
we're
we're
not
done.
done. I've been sitting here waiting. We're not done.
Go, hold on, Kevin. Go ahead.
So yes, each one, so when we had the last month's meeting, we were just setting a percentage. because it's required for truth and taxation and PTEL. Now that you are going to actually pass the levies this month, you need to set dollar amounts for each one of those funds. The point of the percentage is only to put you within the PTEL, as we've been talking about the various things of what the limiting level is. Now you actually have to set those dollar amounts. So correct. You can't just make a motion for whatever percentage you may want. You need to have these levy funds set at a certain dollar amount.
Thank you.
Each one, yes.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, Joe, and then Julie, we'll finish up with
Thank you.
I just want to try to make things a little bit more clear to the committee and everyone listening. I've said this before, and I agree with Leader Williams. We're kind of at a stalemate here, and we've been asking for potential cuts. I have received none. So when I say, and I'm not here to call anyone out, but for one of our members from the other side of the aisle to not be involved in any conversation has nothing to do with myself. She mentioned that there's 2 caucuses, and we do have leaders of each caucus, and those caucuses need to talk to each other in whatever manner they decide to come up with some ideas. I, as speaker, had 0. So when I say compromise, this is coming from me. I've heard 0 from anybody else. I thought that some of the members of this board wanted a compromise. This was my offer. And I would like, once again, the chair to put that offer on the table in the respected numbers at the 1.75 and have this committee vote either yes or no to send a full board.
Thank you.
Joe, I'd like to correct you. You and I talked.
Dave, you do not have the floor. Julie is next. Point of order. You do not have the floor. Wait your turn. I will allow you to speak after Julie. And then I said Julie can speak. I will allow you to speak after Julie speaks. Please, you need to respect the process. Are you
Okay.
done, Joe?
I am. Thank you.
Thank you. Julie, go ahead.
Okay, a couple of things here. We've spent an incredible amount of time talking about a 1.7% levy, and this is for Kevin. We've just spent an incredible amount of time, but there's been no motion about a 1.75 levy, and it's not even on the agenda. And please, I'm talking to Kevin, and I'd like his response. I mean, is there anything, is this appropriate? We're talking about a levy that a motion has not even been made, and yet we're discussing it as if it already has been. And it's not on the agenda, nowhere on the agenda.
So your levy and budget discussion are item 1 in new business. That was, at least my understanding was the purpose of calling this meeting, is our last finance meeting, we didn't have really any movement on what the numbers were going to be. So again, you are discussing it under item 1, and then once we move through this discussion, you'll go through items 2 through 9 and set dollar amounts, whatever the committee may want that to be. Things can always be amended on the floor. So there doesn't have to be a direct ask for this 1.75 in the posting. Things can be amended on the floor. You've
Yeah,
sufficiently
but-
put them out for public
Okay.
notice.
They can be amended, but it hasn't yet. But we've spent substantial time talking about this compromise that was made between some board members, and we're not sure who that is. But let me also say that again, here's another meeting where Sherry's got information, Sherry's got numbers, she's got a handout there. It's not on the agenda. I don't see it. I don't have it.
These are the
I-
numbers as a result of the 1.75.
Exactly. Sherry has
That-
information
that I
that
asked
I've never
Marcy.
seen. I don't have in front of me. It's not on the agenda. The public can't see it.
And we're going to put it on we're going to propose it publicly. We'll vote on it.
I had no ability to review it, to look at it, to even know it existed till I got into this meeting.
Okay.
This happens in far too many committee meetings. We get in there and things are not on the agenda. There's nothing that even the public could pull up if they want to find out what is the business of this county board.
So
How did we get to this?
that I can't answer. That's not a legal question, but these things are all on the agenda. They have been posted.
Where is it on the agenda, Kevin?
That's the
Where,
point.
what you're holding in your hand,
No, Julie,
where is our copy?
the point of this meeting is for us to set these dollar amounts.
So they're on the agenda as agenda items. The attachments are different than what is on the agenda. The posting requirement requires that you have the item to be discussed.
Okay.
It doesn't require every attachment. And just if I may, there could be 22 different things out there. Just because a board member has come up with an idea of how to do this, it's not required to be posted as part of the agenda, because obviously you could vote that down, and some of your concerns may be bases for you to want to vote them down. But every possible scenario that somebody might have come up with doesn't have to be required on the agenda to be posted. So you just have to have a short statement as to what the item is to be discussed. The items to be discussed are obviously the levy and the budget, and then each one of the separate funds and the overall budget.
Thank you.
Well, I would encourage us to go back to where board members have the opportunity. When I review the agenda prior to the committee meeting, because I do that once, twice, sometimes 3 times, to be held in the dark. This wasn't done probably today. It wasn't done maybe yesterday. And I think that it's courtesy to include the committee. If you want me to digest and try to make a decision based on that spur of the moment, I don't think that's fair. You don't go in and buy a car in 10 minutes. I mean, so I'm a visual person. I can't see it. You're holding it. You're gonna read the numbers. I just have a real problem with the transparency that we're seeing right now. And I wish we would do better to the public and to the board members. We take a lot of time. I know a lot of board members. We take a lot of time. We take our committee responsibilities very seriously. But I like to know the facts, and I like to understand what's going on in the background. So I'm not happy with this, and you can read off all those numbers, but I think, again, we've got a resolution that passed, and that's, I don't see any point in I don't see any point in hashing this out. If you go back and you listen to the previous finance meetings, you will hear cuts that we proposed. They've been mentioned: consolidation of capital, consolidation of offices, the recorder of deeds, the property on Scott Street, consolidating. We've had that talk for years here at the county. So there have been recommendations that have been stated, but they don't go forward. They never pass committee because I believe people don't like the recommendations, and so then they're forgotten, but they have been made. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Joe, let me turn your mic on. Okay.
There's been a comment about transparency, and I just want to remind the folks that when we voted as a board for a 0% levy to propose to the public, not $1 amount was discussed. So the 22 members that voted on that had no numbers in front of them, and the people who voted 0 were not transparent whatsoever. This is the first time that we're bringing this forward. So it works both ways. Nobody's trying to hide anything, but it was hidden before when the 0% was proposed. So let's not forget. Thank you.
All right. Okay, seeing no more comments, I'm going to call for a 5-minute recess before we vote, mainly because I have to go to the bathroom. So if that's okay with you guys, we'll take 5 and reconvene at 10 o'clock.
know, if people
Eh.
can't remember what's, you know.
Uh, excuse me, everybody. Okay. Um, excuse me, everybody. Marcy is printing up the numbers at 1.75, and as soon as she does that, we'll resume the meeting. My God. Okay, we're calling the meeting back to order at 10:07. And so, what we're gonna do now is vote on the individual levies. So, the sheet that you have in front of you shows the levy with 1.75% and the revised new construction numbers. The ones in white, so FICA, the TB Sanitarium, County Bridge and federal aid matching are the same as what is in the resolutions on your agenda. So those don't have to be amended for the 1.75. If we want to go the 1.75, the items in green need to be amended from what is shown on the agenda. So maybe what I'll do is like, let's start out, I'll say, I'm asking for, I'm sorry. I'm like losing my mind here. Okay, I'm asking for a motion for the corporate fund to 108,814,654. I want to amend the existing resolution number 25-335 to 108,814,654. Can I get a motion? Can I get a second? Nobody wants to second? Okay, let's do a roll call vote. Oh, I'm sorry. Didn't realize it was off. There you go.
Berkowitz,
No.
Oxley,
No.
Trainier,
Yes.
Winfrey,
Yes.
Newquist.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, the next is, I need a motion for, resolution 25-337, the FICA levy, and that dollar amount is as listed, $7,800,000. Can I get a motion? Can I get a second? All right, do we want to do a roll call or a previous roll? Previous roll? All right, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. All right, resolution number 25-3338, the IMRF levy. And that is actually revised downward. I'd like to get a motion for an amendment to. Did I get a second? Previous Berkowitz, second Oxley, all in favor? Aye, opposed? Motion carries. Okay, resolution number 25-339, Tort Immunity Fund levy. Can I get a motion to amend it to $5,100,000? Motion Winfrey, second Trainier, previous Berkowitz. Do you want to second it, David?
Oh, yes.
Second Oxley, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. One moment. Oh, you're right. Okay.
You could do it at the end and go back,
Okay.
redo it as one.
Okay.
You want to do the amendments?
Yeah, what the chief of staff just pointed out to me is that for the items where we amended it, we are going to have to go back and approve them as amended. We just approved the amendment. So why don't we finish these up since we're halfway through, and then I'll go back and call for an approval of the motion or of the levy as amended. Okay, thank you. I did not think about that. Okay, which one did we just?
We're on worker comp.
We're in workman's comp. Thank you. Number 6, resolution 25-3381, workman's comp levy. And I need a motion to amend that to $4,100,000.
Motion to amend the worker comp.
Thank you. And then Winfrey second. Do we have a previous Berkowitz second? All in favor? Aye. Okay, now let's make a motion to pass that levy as amended, and then we'll go back and do the other ones that I skipped.
So you want to, okay.
Yeah.
Or do you just want to go through the whole thing and then go back and do it?
I think let's make one motion.
Yes.
All right, we can make one motion to do them all as amended.
The way you want to
He
do
said
it.
go ahead and do the worker.
Hold on a sec.
Okay.
So pass the workman's comp as amended, and
do
then
that with
go
all the
back
other
and do
ones,
the
and
others.
then we'll go
Okay,
back and deal with the three are the two that need to be
Okay,
approved as amended.
thank you, Kevin. I appreciate that. Okay, so can I get a motion to pass that as amended? Winfrey?
Motion to pass as amended, the workers' compensation.
All right, Denise, will you second since you're,
Do we
Julie?
need a roll call or can I do previous?
You can do previous, I
Previous
believe.
roll.
Second.
Okay, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Okay, next up, the TB Sanitarium Resolution 20.
Discussion.
Health department is next.
No, the TB Sanitarium. No, but we still have to pass it.
We're gonna do that second.
No. What we just did was we passed the workman's comp as amended. We're gonna have to,
That's what it is.
no, but we still need to pass the levy. We just don't need to amend it. So, correct, Kevin? I need to,
Yeah, you currently have nothing levied for any of these, which is, I get the confusion between the aggregate estimated levy. This is now the actual levy funds, so you need to move something forward.
right. Okay, all right,
To approve.
right. So, thank you.
Conversation.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All right, previous Julie?
I will vote for this levy, but I have a discussion.
Okay, all right, go ahead, discussion, go ahead.
So this is not an increase. This is the same amount from last year.
Correct.
Why? Why, whoever picked this 1.7% levy, I'm just curious why they didn't feel that the Sunny Hill Tuberculosis Clinic needed additional dollars.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Marcy, but some of these levies are set by statute.
I don't think.
Or
so.
Mike, do we have a? Hold on. Okay, go ahead.
Thank you. And I don't have the specifics in front of me, but we've been working over the past year to create some efficiencies at the TB Sanitarium. And so we've adjusted staffing levels accordingly and are still then able to remain within the same budget as the previous year.
That's amazing because I do know that tuberculosis continues to rise in this country and throughout the state and throughout the nation, actually. You know, how you manage to find cuts in this one department is incredible.
Are you
But we can't
proposing an
do it.
increase in the levy?
I am bringing to light something that I find incredible, that we were able to take one department, save personnel costs, find efficiencies, and just basically not increase, just carry on their budget from last year. One department, and that happens to be the tuberculosis. I have a personal connection to tuberculosis. My grandfather died of it. And I know what's going on out, and we had 4 years of people flooding our borders, bringing tuberculosis into this country.
Please stick to the
So-
topic with the levy.
I support this dollar amount because this is the same dollar amount from last year. And
If-
for that reason, I vote yes for the TB Sanitarium, but I find it ironic and also very hypocritical that we can take one department, especially something that kills people. And we have a population out there we can't find.
If you are proposing an amendment to increase the levy, please feel free.
I'm proposing, I will be a yes on this.
Okay, then let's do a roll call vote on this. We have a motion and a second. Let's do a roll call, please.
Berkowitz,
Yes.
Oxley,
Yes.
Trainier,
Yes.
Winfrey,
Yes.
Newquist.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, thank you. Next up is the number 8, the Health Department levy resolution number 25-3342. I would like a motion to amend it to $12 million. Motion Trinier, second. Pardon?
Roll call?
Yes, roll call, please.
Berkowitz,
No.
Oxley. Trainier,
Yes.
Winfrey,
Yes.
Newquist.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, now can I get a motion to pass that as amended? Motion Trainier, second Winfrey. Do you guys want to do a previous roll or do you want to roll previous roll second? All in favor? Aye, opposed? Motion carries. Next up is number 9, resolution number 25-3343, the county highway levy. I'm looking for a motion to amend it to $8,215,857. Motion Winfrey, second Trainier. Previous second, all in favor? Aye, opposed? Motion carries. Now I'm looking for a motion to pass the highway budget as amended, or the highway levy, I'm sorry. Move Winfrey, second Trainier. Previous and second, all in favor? Aye, motion carries. Next up, number 10, 25-3344, the county bridge levy. This has not been amended. This is at the amount, that was in the previous in the agenda at 626,000. Move Winfrey, second Trainier. Do we want a roll call on this since this is not changed?
From the original, but
This, again, I'm
it
just
said 0%.
This is at 0%.
baffled. Why?
Again, if you would like to make a motion to increase the levy, feel free. All right, let's do a roll.
I'm happy to, let's have a roll call.
Let's do a roll call.
0%.
Berkowitz,
Yes.
Oxley,
Yes.
Trainier,
Yes.
Winfrey,
Yes.
Newquist.
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, thank you. Motion passes. Last up is number 12. The community, I'm sorry, number 11, 25-3345 federal aid matching levy. And that is also unchanged at 55,089. Can I get a motion? Moved in second, Trainier, previous Berkowitz. Do you want a second, David? Second Oxley, all in favor? Aye, opposed? Motion carries. Okay, now we need to go back and pass resolution number, the corporate fund levy resolution 25-335 as amended. Motion Trainier, second Winfrey. Do we want a roll call?
Say that again?
We'll do a roll call. We amended it to 108-815-654. Now we need to pass it as amended. So we'll do a roll call.
Berkowitz,
No.
Oxley,
No.
Trainier,
Yes.
Winfrey,
Yes.
Newquist.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Next, we have to also pass the IMRF levy, 25-338. This, as amended, this is actually a decrease from 0%. So let's do a roll call again for this.
Trainier.
Motion Trainier, second Winfrey.
Berkowitz,
How is this a decrease?
Because at 0%, IMRF was overfunded at 16 million and we can reduce it to 14.2. This is all per state formula. So yeah, we talked about this.
So,
We were underfunding it in the original proposal, but when you guys went to zero levy, it meant it was unchanged from the previous year. So it went back up to 16 million. So this is correcting that to the correct amount of 14.2 million.
okay. Given that I understand that this is lower, we have actually lowered this, correct, Marcy? So, okay. Yes.
Oxley,
Yes.
Trainier,
Yes.
Winfrey,
Yes.
Newquist.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, thank you. And then for tort immunity, we need to pass tort immunity. Resolution 25-339, we need to pass it as amended, so can I get a motion? Motion Trainier, second Winfrey. Roll call, please.
Berkowitz,
No.
Axley,
No.
Trainier,
Yes.
Winfrey,
Yes.
Newquist.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, now we're on to number 12, 25-3346, the Community Mental Health Board levy, and I need to get the dollar amount for that. Bear with me. The correct dollar amount for that is as shown in our agenda. We have to get the actual dollar amount of the levy. Hold on one sec.
They had asked for 12 and was reduced to
Yep,
10.
it was 10 million. Okay, so we have a motion, Winfrey,
Second.
second Trainier. Do we want to roll? Let's do a roll call.
Berkowitz,
No.
Axley, Trainier,
Yes.
Winfrey,
Yes.
Newquist.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, and last up is resolution 25-332, the fiscal year 2026 annual budget. So, Kevin, how do we do this? So we need to pass a budget that reflects the levies that we just voted on. Go ahead.
So obviously, given this change this morning, on the comments by Speaker Van Dyne, that they were going to work to identify the cuts to go within the proposed levies. You can pass this forward right now because we don't have any amendments to reflect that. We'll just have to make sure that we have a balanced budget come the county board when it is actually approved.
Okay,
So
so we can pass it
you can
just to
pass
bring
this
it
as
forward
so.
to the board, and then we'll vote on the budget with changes at the full board meeting.
Correct.
Correct?
You'll have
Wait,
to, you'll
I
have
see
to make
Mike
those
there.
changes to make sure that you are not having a surplus.
Got it,
or-
Vicky. Let me have Mike
I would
tell
prefer
us and
Member
then,
Trenier go first. I just
oh,
have a
okay,
closing comment.
go ahead.
If you'll remember, when we adjourned the finance committee last
Right,
week, there was a document on there that already was making some line item changes in the budget. We haven't just, I don't recall if that's what we have in front of us, but either way, there will be additional changes because the change in the various levy dollar amounts. So I'm assuming that that whole package would come forward at the full board? Or are we going to vote on the ones that were proposed last time that we didn't vote on yet?
there's only been
I-
one, there were
yeah.
no budget changes proposed last
I
time.
think
It
what
was,
is being brought.
Yeah, there were, and
There were?
Marcy's got them.
oh,
They were
sorry.
on our agenda. That is what I had called you about the day
Oh,
before.
right, I forgot about that. Okay, so yeah, how does this work? Are we bringing forward the existing of the existing budget that's in our packet?
Well,
We didn't take a vote on those. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
So I'm
We never
guessing we're
voted.
gonna just get a bigger package at the full board. Right.
yeah, my understanding is there's only been one actual proposed budget that has, those amendments haven't gone forward.
Correct. That's my
So
point.
I think you're moving with the county executive's budget that was presented is my understanding.
Okay,
Obviously, again, there have to be
There'll be
changes.
some changes,
Yeah.
just like we were going to discuss last time.
but we
We
need to
didn't.
move it forward out of this committee in order to be able to vote on it at the county board.
Correct. You need to move something.
Okay,
Yeah, we'll move, would you like me to make a motion
I-
to move the budget as presented?
Could I just bring one
let's let
point?
Mike in.
And so with the levies that you passed in numbers 2 through 11, there's one easy change that will then help guide the process going forward, because then we'll have a corporate dollar figure that we will all be on the same page with. And that would be paying additional tort immunity out of cash on hand, and then reducing the what we would call the cannabis revenue line with the health department from 1 million, because that will be transferred into the levy. And then we'll all be on the same page as to what that corporate general funds figure will look like. And so that would be personally the motion that I would like to see, and that will make it much easier for us to do the individual department cuts to make everything balance out without having to deal with that obvious thing on the floor on Thursday.
Okay, so you need a motion from us, first of all, to move.
It would be $1 million,
what was it, Julia?
$1 million from cash on hand in the tort fund.
I'll make the motion to,
Let me just give it all, and you can do it all in one then, and then reduce the, in the cannabis revenue. Sorry, I got to keep my train of thought. It's been a week already, Jackie. I'm sorry.
Move $1 million from the cannabis revenue to the health department.
Move $1 million in the cannabis, reduce the cannabis revenue by $1 million because it will no longer go to the health department as the health department levy now reflects that. Does that make sense?
No.
The new number you voted on, yes, covers that million. So then you'll have a reduction. You can reduce that million in the health department, in the cannabis fund, and then cash on hand, an extra million to tort. So those two things.
so hold on.
So we're removing $1 million. We had originally taken $1 million from the cannabis revenue and sent it to the health department. We don't have to do that anymore. So instead we can take that $1 million, move it to cash on hand, and then use that to fund tort immunity.
You don't have to move it to cash on hand.
We can move it directly to tort immunity.
You don't have to do that either.
Okay, what do we do with it?
You would do cash on hand to
We
1
leave
million,
it in
cash
the-
on hand to tort immunity, and then reduce that health department $1 million line, and then it's sitting in the cannabis
It
funds.
stays there.
It stays there.
Okay.
Does that
got
make
it.
sense?
Okay,
So the motion that I'm making then is to accept the recommendation.
You got to amend the recommendation, and it would be $1 million from cash on hand to the tort immunity fund,
Reserves.
and then reduce the line item for the health department and the cannabis funds from $1 million to 0.
Are you asking that they change the levies or that they amend the budget?
This is
The
the budget.
budget.
This is number 13.
I just want to make sure
Yeah,
I'm saying.
This
And
is
this
the
will reflect,
budget.
this was reflected, what
Gotcha.
was just voted on.
okay, so we've got a motion
I'll
and a
second.
second,
Okay.
and now Julie now we have discussion. So Julie, go ahead.
Okay, what number are we on right now?
13.
Number
13.
13.
Okay, so we're on 13. So you just said that we need to take 1 million off of the number. So the number is trying to find the right,
Add a-
document here. Budget changes as adapted. I don't know, Mike, what you're referring to?
The
Kevin, do you
original
know?
the original budget presented by
I think
the
what Mike is
county
trying,
He's
executive.
going back to
he's
2%.
asking that item, specific line items within the annual budget that was presented be changed so that they can go forward. If those are approved in the budget, they can then move on to other things that they will need to adjust the budget with the proposed levies.
And this will just reflect the levies you voted on.
So there won't be any change in the actual budget number. There will be once you guys do your,
Can we
That's-
have the budget up on the screen so we know what we're talking about?
and I've got my budget book here if you need to look at it.
My budget book too.
Happy to show you.
So again, we're going back to, you said the county executive's original budget, which was
That book.
2%. Okay,
Yes,
here,
which,
so we're talking about $1 million. What I'm trying to understand is, so the committee's being told that another $1 million is being transferred from the cannabis fund to the health department.
no,
No,
that was.
no, no.
That's the opposite.
Member Berkowitz, this might help explain it. This is just matching the executive's introduced budget in certain levy areas like tort immunity and the health department with what this committee just voted on.
You specifically mentioned $1 million from the cannabis fund to the health.
No,
department.
no, no. Yes, that was in the original
You did.
proposed budget.
I
That is
perfectly know.
correct. And now the amendment would be to reduce that number from
To
$1 million
zero.
to 0. Right? And so then the health department is not in the cannabis funding anymore as it's reflective in the levy.
Another way to say it.
This-
Cannabis money to support the health.
Yeah, so you're reducing a line item from $1 million
You
to
know-
0.
I like to have something written. I mean, you can
Here,
charge money,
1 million
You,
but
to,
I mean, this is really, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is really a procedural mechanism so
It's,
that we can free up money for you guys to cut and move around as you need to move to the 1.75%
Correct. And that's what-
versus the 2.
this will just, and then we're all working off a standard number, knowing where everything
Right.
is in the levy line.
This won't be the final budget.
No.
You know, we'll obviously get that in writing before the board meeting.
What we just voted on and the levy increases decrease. That's all it is.
Yeah, it's just freeing up money within the budget for them to move around. It's not changing the overall dollar
The
amount
dollar
right
amount of
now.
the budget will be the same figure.
The dollar amount of the budget will change, you know, because we
We- yeah.
reduced it. But obviously they're gonna need to rework the numbers and,
what are we actually voting?
You will be voting on, if the committee so chooses, a motion to move 1 million in cash on hand into the Tort Immunity Fund, and at the same time, in the Cannabis Fund, reduce the Health Department appropriation line from $1 million to 0.
so we're voting to amend the budget by those amounts, and then we will pass the budget as amended. So, and I have a motion and a second. The motion was to accept the recommendation, and move the,
I'm happy to make the motion.
a million, well, Denise made him, right. Okay, go ahead.
I move that we reduce the cannabis, we reduce the health department budget by the 1 million from the cannabis fund and then use that.
No, that we reduce the cannabis fund line item.
And then it would be, and then separate cash on hand, an additional $1 million to the Tort Immunity.
Okay, and we have a second, Jackie, you had
Yes.
seconded
Roll
it.
call, please.
All right, roll call?
Berkowitz,
No.
Oxley,
No.
Trainier,
Yes.
Winfrey,
Yes.
Newquist.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, now can I get a motion to move the budget forward as amended?
And I will second it, and I want
Okay.
to say something.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. We have discussion, so go ahead, Jackie.
Thank you. I really appreciate the fact that we are not taking cannabis dollars and giving them directly to the health department. I really feel like the cannabis fund should be used for, and I can't think of the word right now, but to restore justice to those people that have been unduly harmed by our extremely harsh rules on marijuana convictions, whether it's helping them, through the restorative justice process, whatever. But I really didn't think that that was the mission of our health department. I don't think they have a Department of Cannabis Restoration. And so I'm really happy we're not sending that money there. And that's why I'll be supporting this. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have a previous? Oh, Julie, did you want to say something?
No.
Okay, did you have a previous
Previous
and
one.
a second? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, I don't have any other new business. I have no other announcements, reports by the chair, except to say thank you guys, everybody, for persevering through this. And we have no need for an executive session, so I'll call for a motion to adjourn. All right, move in a second. All in favor? Aye, we're adjourned.
Huge discussion.
Well, what's the news?